Thank you, thank you. It's great to be here. Let's dive into something that really gets me thinking. Boston Terriers. Now, if you've ever seen one of these little guys, you know they're like the comedians of the dog world. They've got that goofy look, big eyes, and a personality that could light up a whole room. But let me tell you, owning a Boston Terrier is like having a toddler with a caffeine addiction. The appearance of Boston Terriers. First off, let's talk about how they look. Boston Terriers are like little muscle-bound creatures in tuxedos. You ever see one? They've got that classic black and white coat that makes them look like they're always ready for a fancy dinner. You could put them in a bow tie and they'd fit right in at the Oscars. But then you get up close and you realize they've got this squished face that looks like it just got out of a wrestling match. I mean, who designed these dogs? It's like someone took a bulldog and said, let's make it smaller and give it a personality crisis. And those ears, they're either flopping around or standing straight up like little radar dishes. You ever see a Boston Terrier perk up when it hears something? It's like they're tuning into the doggy news network. Breaking news, someone just opened a bag of chips 3 houses down. The personality now, let's get into their personalities. Boston Terriers are energetic little goofballs. They've got more energy than I do after 3 cups of coffee. You think you're just going to sit on the couch and relax? Nope. Here comes your Boston Terrier, bouncing off the walls like it just discovered sugar for the first time. What do you mean we're not going for a walk? I need to burn off this energy? And let me tell you about their stubbornness. These little guys are like tiny dictators. You ask them to do something, and they look at you like, yeah, I'll get right on that after I finish this nap. It's like living with a furry little roommate who has no respect for your authority. You want me to sit? How about I just lay here and look adorable instead? The barking factor. Now let's talk about barking. Boston Terriers have this unique bark that sounds like a mix between a squeaky toy and an alarm clock going off at 6 a.m. You ever hear one bark? It's not just loud, it's piercing. And they don't just bark at anything. They'll bark at shadows, leaves blowing in the wind, or even their own reflection. What is that? Is that me? Am I cute? But here's the kicker. Once they realize it's just the mailman delivering your bills, they go from guard dog mode to cuddle mode in seconds flat. 1 minute they're barking like they're defending the house from an army, and the next minute they're snuggled up on your lap as if nothing happened. The exercise needs. Let's talk about exercise for a second. If you think owning a Boston Terrier means leisurely strolls around the block, you better think again. These dogs need exercise like I need my morning coffee, desperately. A quick walk won't cut it. They need to run around until they collapse from exhaustion. And if you live in an apartment, good luck. You might as well start looking for a house with a yard, because these little tornadoes will turn your living room into their personal racetrack if they don't get enough exercise. 1 minute you're watching TV, the next minute you're dodging flying furniture as your Boston Terrier decides it's time for an indoor marathon. The food dilemma. Speaking of energy, let's talk about food. Boston Terriers can eat. If you think you're going to feed them some fancy gourmet dog food and call it a day, you better think again. These dogs look at their food bowl like it's an appetizer before the main course. You ever catch them staring at you while you're eating dinner? It's like having a tiny furry judge sitting there critiquing your meal. Really? That's what we're having tonight? And if they don't get their share? Oh boy, you'll hear about it. The loyalty factor. But here's what really gets me. Their loyalty is unmatched. Once they bond with you, it's like having your own personal bodyguard. Except this bodyguard weighs about 15 pounds and thinks every stranger is there to steal your snacks. You could be sitting on the couch watching TV, and suddenly, your Boston Terrier is right there next to you, ready to protect you from whatever danger lurks outside, like that squirrel that dared to cross your lawn. What do you mean I can't chase it? That thing is plotting against us. The quirks. Now let's talk about their quirks, because Boston Terriers have plenty. For starters, they have this weird way of sleeping where they look half dead, but somehow still manage to snore louder than my Uncle Larry after Thanksgiving dinner. You ever see one of these dogs sleeping? Their legs are all over the place, like they're dreaming about running marathons while lying on the couch. And then, there are those moments when they suddenly decide it's time to run around in circles for no apparent reason. One minute they're calm, the next minute they're sprinting around the house like they've just been shot out of a cannon. What are we doing? Why are we running? The social butterfly. Take them out in public, and suddenly it's like having a celebrity by your side. Everyone wants to stop and pet them. Oh my God, look at that cute little guy. Meanwhile, your Boston Terrier is soaking up all the attention like it's on stage at Madison Square Garden. Yes, thank you, I'm available for selfies. But here's where it gets interesting. While they love being social with humans, other dogs, not so much. You ever see a Boston Terrier meet another dog? It's either love at first sight or total chaos. One minute they're sniffing each other, the next minute they're barking and trying to establish dominance over who gets to claim the best spot on the couch. The training challenges. Now let's address training these little furballs because training a Boston Terrier is an adventure in itself. They're smart, but also incredibly stubborn, like trying to teach calculus to a goldfish. You might find yourself repeating commands until your voice goes hoarse. Sit, stay, roll over. And all they hear is blah, 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 treat. And when they finally decide to listen, oh man, it feels like winning an Olympic gold medal. You're jumping up and down saying things like, yes, you did it, now where's my treat? Meanwhile, your dog is thinking, great, now where's my belly rub? So folks, if you're thinking about getting a Boston Terrier or already have one, embrace the chaos. Enjoy those moments when they're barking at shadows or trying to eat your shoes because that's what makes life interesting. In conclusion, Boston Terriers may not be perfect. They may shed fur everywhere and have more energy than most humans. But they bring joy and laughter into our lives in ways we never imagined possible. So let's raise our glasses, or dog bowls, to these incredible creatures that remind us every day how fun, and sometimes chaotic, life can be. Thank you all for being here tonight. Remember to hug your Boston Terrier when you get home.